Well, my goodness, was this a bad day? This was a very, very bad day indeed to solve a missing bunny. Boy, we shouldn't be here. We should be watching the returns out of Georgia. Is that, hopefully you all have it on live and muted. I don't know how much work we're going to get done today, but we can try. Hi, everybody. My name is Dr. Whimsy. Welcome, welcome. This is HCRV class. I don't know why we bother to number them. They're all open classes, meaning that you can join at any time, and we get together and we talk about things like meditation, mindfulness, heart-centered remote viewing technique, which we teach for free on this channel anytime you want to join us and learn how to be an effective empath, heart-centered remote viewer. This is the place to come. Like I said, this is entirely free. We are running donations for the month of January. We're raising money for Feed America. So 100% of the donations, there's a donation button. So that if you can't afford to donate, that's cool. We got plenty of work for you. You can watch the commercials, which raises money for charity. You can work as a moderator. You can take notes. There's so many great things you can do. Hey, Celtic Tarot. Hi, Sheila. Sheila is here. As you know, she's an amazing reader herself. Hi, Tamara Rose. Good to see you. Celtic Tarot, Sheila, and myself, and a couple of the other readers, Michelle Taylor as well. We're trying to organize a buddy system because we've talked a lot about concerns about the economic direction that the country could be going in the next couple of weeks. For example, we know Southern California is about, I think it's the 5th largest economy in the world, Southern California. And Southern California is going through a lot of stuff right now. And we're concerned about the snowball effect, right? When these kinds of things happen. So we want to give good energy to California and encourage everyone to take care of themselves, be about your business, protect yourself, get vaccinated as soon as you can. And just be aware that those kinds of changes are probably going to be happening over the next couple of weeks. And yeah, things will get better probably. We'll see some improvements around March and April. So the buddy system, I need Sheila, if you can email me, Michelle. I'll let. Also, I think if we can share with people the email address to help connect buddies in your area. For example, particularly in the California area, we need buddies because not everybody can rely on ambulances if they have to get to an ER. If they have to get to the hospital, and if an ambulance doesn't come, or if you can't pick up 911, being able to call a buddy in the event of an emergency. So definitely we need buddies in those areas where we can't rely on response from ambulances, etc. And then there are food concerns. We're not buying a lot of groceries for people. We're doing it directly through Feed America. But through buddies, somebody may be able to go pick up your medicine, do little errands. Those are kinds of things that we're looking for when we're looking for people to buddy up. All right. So because I'm here with you, I'm not going to be able to. I think travel is fine, but I would rather you get vaccinated first. Warnock 1, I thought we hadn't counted yet. I mean, I thought, hold on, let me just, now you guys, see, I can't do this because I'm too busy obsessing about the razor thin margins. Okay, I'm going to get disconnected if I go off there. I have no idea what that is, Jeffrey, FLCCC. Ivermectin. Yay, I got my flu shot. Glad that's over with. I'm going to get my shingles also because I'm over the age of 55. Okay. So, like I said, this is heart-centered remote viewing class. If you haven't had a chance to, be sure and share, like, subscribe, and click the bell notification. Today, we're going to be talking about some basic stuff that I'm sure people will want to know, and we're going to be demonstrating a technique that you can do when you are being asked to look at a grid. So let's talk a little bit about some of the reasons you could be asked to look at a grid. And there's a couple of different ways you can look at a grid. Say that you are somebody, and this is true for some of the younger students that are here today, you're going into law enforcement. We have a couple people, they're young, they're becoming police officers, detectives, and so they, rightly so, the people that are in that kind of line of profession, they want to learn how to be a heart-centered remote viewer. Cool. That individual, if they decide to be like a psychic working for the police or whatnot, it's going to be a good idea to be able to scan a grid. Now, there's two ways to scan a grid. One way is you can do it from your own home, looking at a photograph. You can look at Google Maps, and then you can try and scan that way. I know that Marianne was today, was it today? She was demonstrating how to use, if you're dowsing, and I really liked that, where the, so we're gonna talk about that. This is one of the ways that you can walk a grid. Say you get hired as a remote viewer to try and find gold, or you get hired to find a body. It doesn't really matter what you're trying to find. Here's the thing to take away from today's lecture. As a heart-centered remote viewer, you're kind of training like a bloodhound. You find a scent, you know the scent you're looking for. So the first thing is we have to show you what the scent is, right? So today we're looking for Flopsy, right? So today our assignment is we have a missing stuffed animal, right? Okay, so Flopsy was last seen by this group right over there, right? Sleeping happily with Milla, right? So the point I'm trying to make here is that the target, you have a relationship now with the target. You know what you're looking for. You have a target, and now you're trying to find the location. So we're doing a fun little game, but the point of the fun little game is to talk about the process. Again, it could be a missing person. It could be gold. It could be, somebody asked you to come in to look for coins. I'll tell you honestly, for me personally, it's more effective for me to walk a grid than for me to do it live via computer. I can still have some success if you show me a photograph of the actual land. I can do this technique from a distance, but being able to walk an actual location is very powerful. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and open the floor to some questions before we continue on. How's everybody doing so far? So everybody get the basic idea now. You're a bloodhound and you're getting a scent, and then we're going to try and locate the thing you have a scent for. Okay, so we're ready to move on. Okay, so when we talk about having a scent for something, what we're saying is we want you to know how you feel, what sensations you're feeling when you are connecting with the target. For example, if I were to pick up Milla and Milla was the target and I was holding Milla, the first thing is she would lose her sense of, she doesn't like to be held for long periods. But I have a definite feeling in my body when I'm connecting with Milla, when I'm smelling her fur, when I'm holding her, when I'm connecting one-on-one with that energy. There are certain sensations I feel. A little bit of anxiety because I know she doesn't like to be picked up, right? All of those signature feelings that I'm having in my body tell me how the sensations I'm going to have in my body in relationship to that target. So what I'm looking for is I'm looking for the same sensation in my body that I had when I looked at a photograph of the target or when I had a relationship with the target. So it's okay to develop a relationship with the target if you're a heart-centered remote viewer. So if somebody shows you a picture of a missing woman, this is a case I had last week, was it, or earlier this week? It was a little bizarre because the heart-centered remote viewing student, I don't think she'll mind me telling the story, I won't mention names, but she had had a dream where she had seen the murder, and then she wanted to walk the grid because she had a pretty good idea that she knew where the location of the body was. This was like 18, 19 years old, this case. But she's an empath, so she was connecting with the emotions of the victim, et cetera, et cetera. So she walked the grid. And she got compelled to the location. She starts digging. She pulls up what looked like a bone that was decomposed about 18 years, looked like it was part of a human skull. And she says, "Look what I found, doctor." She sent me pictures of it. It's like, whoa, that looks like a human cranium decomposed. You might want to seal the area and call the police. So congratulations, like, trust your gut. This particular person, she sealed the grid. She did the system. She had a rough idea. She sent it to me. I scanned. I said, oh, there's a dead body. You know, because I know how I feel when I'm in the energy of a cadaver. So I wasn't trying to connect to the actual person. I was trying to connect to the actual feeling of a cadaver was in this area. And she had gotten the same grid area. So then when she went in, she felt that sensation, cadaver. And then when she dug about a quarter of an inch down in the dirt, and that's when she located what looked like possibly the crime scene. So it's a powerful system if you can learn it. And so today, that's the system we're learning. Know the scent. If you know how you feel emotionally when you smell a cadaver, when you're around death, or how you feel when you sense people fighting or hurting, danger, or that there was violence, you know physically the sensation. So your body is the Geiger counter if you're an empath. Does that make sense? No, because you're looking at a grid. You're having an image of a grid. Or, Michelle, if I hire you, if I'm a private detective and I've been hired by the prosecution, this happens a lot. Say, for example, a private investigator is hired by a law firm to do some private investigating, the defense or prosecution, and then they work with a psychic or an empath, remote viewer that they feel comfortable with. It's a private thing. But sometimes they'll call and say, hey, I got a case for you. There's a couple of people I know like that. It's cool. Then in a situation like that, then yeah, you're going to want to know how to walk a grid, how to check the grid and see about the sensations. So you're going to use the technique that we're going to talk about today. So are we ready to go into the technique? Everybody ready? Okay, so with the technique, the first thing that we want people to know, I got my notes out. I have to find everything. Okay, so the first thing we want to know, you've gotten called to a case. We have a missing bunny. So let's imagine that this is the case. So you're the heart-centered remote viewer. So you ask, can I see a photograph or something, an image of this bunny or whatever? So you look at it. Maybe they tell you a story. You start to feel like you're really connecting with the individual, like the fact that Flopsy is Milla's baby. Flopsy, she's attached to Flopsy. She doesn't understand why Flopsy is gone. I mean, Flopsy's been gone all day, right? Flopsy went missing approximately at 4:16 p.m. today, right? So there are emotions attached to the fact that the target is missing. And that's something else you'll connect with as well. So today we're going to be using the 5th chakra. And as you know, what I wanted to really say to you all is that the chakras are they are your extrasensory perceptions. So you have hands, ears, eyes, nose, throats. Those are sensory perceptions that you have that allow you to connect with the gross world, the physical world. Our chakras are part of our extrasensory perception. So when they receive data from the outside world, you will feel your chakras responding. For example, if you have a sensation in your body, whether it's positive or negative, you will feel your chakra respond, and being familiar with what your chakras are doing will help you be a better empath. So, for example, if you feel that your life is threatened, if you feel that someone is threatening your very survival, and you feel that your security and safety is at risk, somebody who really threatens you, you will usually feel ice cold sensation in the root chakra. And that ice cold sensation is you're probably feeling the retraction of the 1st chakra, because the 1st chakra is your survival. It's your root. It's what you ground to the earth. So when you're feeling threatened, it contracts and becomes icy. And you know how they'll say people will lose their stuff if they're frightened? It's from the contraction of that area, and you will actually physically feel that lower area, the colon, that area retracting, and you'll be very aware of it. That sensation, that's the sensation of the 1st chakra closing, because maybe somebody felt that they weren't safe. So that would be an example. Say you walk the grid and you get yourself into a meditative state. I want you to focus on things like the 1st chakra. If your 1st chakra is closing and getting cold in a particular place, I want you to make a note of it. You're an empath, and that's how you work. So you're going to document, I was walking the grid and then I felt my 1st chakra close when I got to the northwest portion of the grid. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that possibly the victim felt threatened, or you're connecting with the sensation of the target, right? You've become one-on-one with the target. So now you're feeling the sensation in the 1st chakra after you get into your meditative state, which we'll review again for people. If you are connecting with your 2nd chakra, the 2nd chakra is reproduction. It's the ovaries, the gonads, the uterus. I sometimes, like, when I used to be in Israel in the Middle East, I used to go visit my relatives that are very, very, very religious. And they always would talk to me about babies. When are you going to have babies? When are you going to have babies? So new. When are you getting married? When are you going to have babies? I literally felt my 2nd chakra squeeze close every time I go to visit relatives in Jerusalem. I feel like everybody was like focusing on my uterus the last time I was there. So I literally felt my 2nd chakra closing every time I would go to visit folks, because it literally was, it was this feeling like that invasive energy in the 2nd chakra. So that's kind of interesting. The 3rd chakra is the gut. We'll use it a lot. Thank you, Anonymous, for the donation of $50. You ground to the earth, and say you're walking a grid and you're already grounded energetically to the earth because the mother comes first, and you're connecting with, you're staying grounded. You don't want to go somewhere else. You have to realize it's part of a hive mind. And thank you, Jeffrey. That was a great question. We're part of a hive mind, and this is why we are different than other readers, and why we're different than other remote viewers, because it's one network. It's one network, it's one brain, it's one gut, it's one heart, and they're all connecting. It's my 1st chakra with your 1st chakra, your My mother makes me feel unloved. I get that a lot from patients because your mother doesn't feel loved and she doesn't want to feel unloved. So she's letting you take the blame. You go feel unloved. I don't want to feel that emotion, right? It's more empathy work, right? We're always, I don't want to feel that. You go, he's weak and vulnerable. You be my scapegoat, right? We're all pushing the ball back and forth, right? Because we're empaths, but it's really just one network. It's just one hive. So how do I connect with Donald Trump's heart? How do I connect with this person's heart? You go through your own heart, which is wired to everybody else, which is why we're always getting upset all the time, because we're connecting to other people who are upset, right? And then you also connect gut to gut. So you connect third chakra, core star to the target. And you're trying to feel your gut is bringing in stimulation. Is it in knots? Is it upset? Are you getting an upset stomach? Those are all sensory perceptions that you're taking in from the target, the heart of the other person. When I sit in my heart, the day that Trump had to sign that bill, and I just let myself, connect with my fifth chakra to his fifth chakra or fourth chakra and just sat in that, I didn't really feel that I was going to have a problem signing that bill, which is why I wasn't surprised he signed the bill, because of where I felt I was at. So people often ask me that, how do you connect? How do you connect? You sit in it and it's right there with you. It is just a doorway away. It's just a veil away. That's how connected we are. And it's very upsetting sometimes, because we want to believe that that is the other, that isn't part of our hive, that we have a beautiful hive of happy bees all communicating, and Donald Trump, we're going to just cut him out. He's not going to be part of this hive. But unfortunately, he very much is. He's very much part of this hive, and he's very much shaping and affecting our emotions and everything else. Because again, it's just one hive. You are, Marilyn. We don't have to imagine it. You are. He's you, you're him. It's one mind, it's one hive, it's one brain. You're just turning on that circuit and connecting. But today we want to use the fifth chakra. The fifth chakra, or not the fifth chakra, excuse me, the sixth chakra. We're going to be using the sixth chakra, which is the third eye. Now, in heart-centered remote viewing, we talk about the fact that there are 5 steps, and let's go ahead and we're going to review the 5 steps together, and then we're going to demonstrate, and then we're going to find a missing object, the target being a stuffed bunny, all right? The first part of remote viewing is set and setting. You want to be in a safe place, lock your doors, you don't want to be disturbed. We put ourselves in a bubble of light, a shield of protection. We don't receive anything that doesn't belong to us. Okay, you put yourself in a safe place, do a prayer, and then the second stage is the trance state. We get you into a trance state. You can use drumming, mantras, music, lighting candles, anything that stimulates the senses to tell your brain it's time to go into a trance state. Incense, candles, repetitive drumming, mantras. Some people take plant medicine. It's a personal choice. If you're looking for a nice plant medicine, I usually will tell people they can try something like chamomile tea, passion flower, any of the nervine teas can help with meditation, particularly if you're having trouble with meditation. The third state of the process is known as the abiding. We bring energy up and energy down from the earth and the sky. We bring it together in the center of our place of gravity, and we hold it. And then we sit and we abide with the energies, focusing specifically on the third chakra and the fourth chakra, because we get a lot of data. For example, if I'm thinking about the target and I'm digesting information about the target, my gut is digesting the information and giving me images about what's going on. If I open my heart, step 4, and I connect with the target, step 4 is when I open my heart to receive the other person, not out there, but in here to receive you. You know, I'm putting myself in a place of love and safety so that, say, somebody like Michael Cohen can come and unburden himself. You know, I'm exactly who you want to talk to. So it's just like, so you go into the heart, the person is my Michael Pa. Yeah. Okay. You wanna unburden? I'm ready to go. It's inside my own heart. I connect with you. For all intensive purposes, I and the target are one. And that's what's exciting about being a heart-centered remote viewer. So your 4th step, you connect with the target, you open your heart to the target, you feel or sense the emotions, you abide with the target, you let them talk to you, you get information. The 5th is you thank the target for the energy that the information they've given you. You cut cords energetically. If they still want to be talking, you can say, you know, and I have to go, hold it, send love and light, and let them go. And you can always go in and try and get more information from them. When I go down, it usually a meditation, I'll feel myself, I can go into a trance state for about 15 to 20 minutes. The natural cycle for people to trance is about every 15 to 20 minutes. You'll go up, you'll come back down. You'll go up, you'll come back down. Just like in any kind of meditation, you go into these very deep states of meditation when you really feel connected with the other person, and then you'll come up and you'll be semi-cognizant. You always want to keep a journal with you. In some cases, if you're working for a company, they may want to actually own your notes. It depends on particularly also if you're talking about, if you've signed an NDA, which I've done a couple times, then even they don't want you to, it's not like you can have your notes on a computer. It's like, woo, they get everything. Again, it has to do with whatever your relationship is with the company you're working with. All right. So, well, you know, you don't want to be like that poor woman in Florida who got raided. And you certainly wouldn't want to be a remote viewer in the former Soviet Union hiding your data. Probably wind up in Siberia or something. I don't know. So does anybody want to help me find a bunny and learn to do a grid? I'm going to grab my water. What's the email address that people can send if they want a buddy? Did Michelle create? It's called something like friendsofwhimsy@gmail.com. Is that right? Can somebody put that up? Because I want to make sure that everybody has a buddy or has somebody to reach out to in the coming weeks. So if we could just post that, I would really appreciate that. Thank you. Okay, so we're obviously not going to be able to do the whole thing, but we will do a minor version. We're not going to do like a whole let's go into trance. So we're going to do an abbreviated version of this. This is you hired, you know, time is of the essence. How do you get yourself in your state? So you're going to take a seat, or you can stand, depending. And you imagine a bubble of light, a shield of protection around you. Maybe take a nice couple deep breaths. And then I imagine a gold light around me, like I'm inside of a bubble of protection, white light and gold. And then I imagine myself grounding myself to the earth, the energy coming up from the earth, coming up all the way up, you know, hitting the first chakra, coming all the way up, to the 4th chakra, and just really let yourself ground also. You really want to feel the energy. I'll go ahead and stand for people so that you can see this a little better. You really want to think like in Tai Chi or Qigong, this area is going to be your, Tai Chi really helps, because with Tai Chi, you'll learn where your sense of gravity is. Also martial arts. When I do healings or anything like that, I'm always thinking in terms of staying grounded. Also in Tai Chi or Qigong or anything, you really want, you're firmly on the ground. You imagine a pole coming up and cementing you to the ground, and then the energy coming up, so that sometimes I will bend my legs slightly, just like in a Tai Chi class or in self-defense, and just really feel your grounding. You're just grounded. And then I imagine the energy coming down, opening up the 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, and then the energy comes together, just in classic Qigong. And then you just want to bring it together. Just bring the energy together. Now, abide a little bit, feel the energy, earth coming down, coming up, sky coming down, and creating that nice Qigong energy. And now I'm ready to walk a grid. Now, it depends on what system you're using. Sometimes I will use my pendulum. Somebody had said, can I use a pendulum? Absolutely. And then I will try and find out, is my first chakra picking up? And if it's a missing person, my first chakra is really going to be taking off. But the 6th chakra, say you get a photograph. So this happens a lot to me. People will send me actual images of a crime scene. So in a situation like that, I will look at the picture. I'm in my state. And then what you're going to do is focus on your breathing. Focus on bringing the energy up from the earth. And I want you to imagine almost pumping the energy up. This is actually a classic technique. Just bring the energy up from the earth. And I want you to bring the energy down from the sky. And you really focus on your breathing. And I want you to focus on opening the 6th chakra. And so when you look at the grid, say you've got the grid in front of you, and the body is somewhere here, we think. So you know now that your chakras are sensory perceptors, and what they're doing is going to give you data. So you're taking notes. And as you go over the grid with your 6th chakra, bringing energy up, and your 6th chakra is opening to see, you will sometimes see images. Now, the 6th chakra is associated with images or visions. It's also associated with auditory. So even though we think of it as an eye, think of it as actually an eye, but it encompasses this whole area. So if you're clairsentient, or if you have visions, or if you hear, that's the 6th chakra. Some of the readers, you'll notice, they'll hear, they'll be like, what? They'll hear. That's their 6 chakras open. Some people are just better at hearing. They'll get audio. They'll hear a person energetically. They'll sense somebody's upset. The other thing is that they'll actually physically see it. They'll physically have a vision of a murder or something like that. That's when the 6th chakra is open. All right. So getting back to the missing bunny. At 4:16 p.m. today, there was a fight in the apartment of Dr. Whimsy. Now, Dr. Whimsy claims that the bunny went back to their Breyer patch. Now, the Breyer patch is in Brentwood, California, right? Because that's where we purchased the bunny, right? We purchased the bunny in Brentwood, California, specifically at Pharmaca Pharmacy, which is on San Vicente Boulevard and Bundy, specifically. So if the bunny took off and went there, we should be able to detect the bunny inside the Pharmaca Pharmacy in Brentwood, California, located at San Vicente in Bundy. But here's the problem. Eyewitnesses say that they never saw the bunny actually leave the apartment. And so I have a working theory that the bunny may actually still be in this apartment. Now, you're probably asking, what's the layout of my apartment? So we're going to show you the layout. Okay, I did this upside down. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is north, this is south. So I'm facing south right now. All right, so, oh, I messed up. Oh, well. So this is what we're looking at. Where I'm sitting right now is I'm sitting in the living room in the south. To my right is the bathroom. Then you have a hall. You have the kitchen here. You've got the hallway going outside the bathroom. All right, so that's the grid. So there is a pantry, an extra pantry here. There's a bathroom there. There's a kitchen here. There's a hallway. There's a place here. So the bunny could be anywhere. The bunny could be in the office drawers. The bunny could be in the bathroom. The bunny could be in the bedroom, in the kitchen, the hall. I could be sitting on the bunny, right? So take a look at this grid. Here's your grid. Everybody see it okay? And I want you to go into meditative states. You know, go ahead and just ground yourself. You can do it seated. You can do a partial meditation. Just bring the energy up, ground yourself, energy down, bring it into the gut. You can use your pendulum if you want. And I just want you to say, tell me, are you being directed south or north? Remember, the target is a bunny. Go into your gut. Go into your heart. If you're confused and you can't emotionally connect, you can connect with Milla, because Mila's upset and she's been crying and looking for the bunny for about 3. Yes, I'm a horrible parent. So Milla has looked for this bunny. Are you going to be directed south or are you going to be directed north? I know. Interesting, Lucy. But I need more specifics. Are we going north or are we going south? Okay, most people say, well, some people say north. Remember, the lower part is the north and the upper part is the south. The thing is backwards. So I know that's going to be confusing. Do you want to go up or down when you're looking for Flopsy? Where's Flopsy? You desperately need to find someone's baby that's gone missing. Go with your gut. What's your gut telling you? Okay, so Flopsy is south. Okay. What do you think happened? What do you think happened to Flopsy? When you go into the meditation and you try to connect with the fact that Milla was upset at 416, she witnessed something. Also, you have to realize that cats don't always know what's real, right? Crying, standing around. What are you doing with my baby, Whimsy? Right? What do you think I did with the baby? Do you think do you see anything happening to Flopsy before Flopsy was moved? Yes, it's up. It's up. We haven't gotten to the actual location. Okay. So we do know that Flopsy has gone south, right? So when we think about south, it's anything above this line, all right? So if you got that right, listen to your gut. Also you have empathy for Milla, right? So you really want to get this right. All right, so now you're looking, we know that we have the southern region. Do you want to go, when you walk the grid, looking for Flopsy, where are you winding? Are you winding up or down, left or right from this location here? You're going further down. Somebody says you're going to go down here north. In the bathroom. Milla's depressed because she's never not known where her stuffed animal is. That's actually true. Okay, so this location, that's correct. Flopsy's in the bathroom. Okay, so everybody who did that got that right. Very good. What do you think Flopsy's doing in the bathroom? You've got the actual location now. Good job to the people that got it right. Very good. Get an extra lollipop. Okay, so now we're in the bathroom. You see how this is working? I don't know if I'm it's funner when we do it in person. Like if we were teaching on an ashram, we would have the whole ashram to work at, and I would show you how to do a grid, and we would actually physically go out. But it's okay. All right, so we're now in the bathroom. So now let's look at the setup in the bathroom. Okay, here's the bathroom. We've got a bathtub. We've got a bathtub over here, excuse me. We've got a toilet. We've got the sink area. We've got the door. Where are you being directed, up or down? Trust your gut. Where is it pulling you? Who said they got a visual under the sink right away? How many people got a visual under the sink? There's a few of you got it right away. See, the thing is that people got it right. A lot of you are professional psychics, and you kind of, you gave the right answer, right? There was like 10 of you. I want to teach this technique from, yes, Jeffrey, yes. So what kind of state would you say the victim is in? Yeah, it's under the sink in the bathroom. So you now have located the target, and some of you got it like right away. I said it's in, and you went you went to your gut and said, oh, it's, but you got to wait not everyone is everyone at their own pace. It is a cupboard, so that's why you saw a cupboard. Or you got it right. You just got the wrong space for the cupboard. It's a dark space. Oh, the bunny's frightened? Okay. What do you think was going on prior to the victim being taken to the location? So when we're talking about going in as remote viewers, obviously we're talking about an inanimate object, but Milla was all over it. I mean, she was like darting around and looking frightened. Like, what are you doing to my child? And like, why are you doing this? So we could theoretically connect with the emotions of the witness in a situation like that. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. Now I'm looking at the target is Milla, and I'm putting myself in Milla's shoes, and Milla was like, is this a game? Are you trying to hurt my child? So what do you think I did to her baby? Getting any visions? I am a terrible parent. She was freaked out. She was freaked out, and then she followed me into the bathroom. I'll just have to bring out the victim and show you. Milla, I got it. I have it here. Milla. They were tied and gagged with my silk scarves. And my motivation was because Milla would rather sleep with Flopsy than with me. So we created a jealousy scenario. I started yelling at Flopsy and saying, my cat doesn't love me ever since, I went through this whole thing. And then I covered her. You won't know where you're being taken. And then I tied it up, and then Milla started following, like, is this a game? Anyway. But for the people who, so that, I mean, obviously if we meet and we do a thing together, it's going to be a lot more intense. This is not, because it's live and it's in front of YouTube, but that's basically how you set up a crime scene to help people practice. And now Milla's baby is fine now. Gonna be okay. So what's the results from Warnock, and how'd we do? Anybody know what's going on? I am sorry. It's such a beautiful rabbit too. I love this rabbit. Yeah, give a round of applause to Flopsy. Flopsy got stuck in that horrible dark place, covered, tied in silk scarf. Milla, your baby's back. Anyway, you flunked. Well, maybe you didn't, Lollipop. Don't assume you got it wrong. I'm scared to look. Did we leave the email address, Sheila, for people who need a buddy? Oh, well. Okay. Did we pray before we did this? Did we do the prayer? We did, right? Did we do the empath prayer? I don't think we did. Did we? Did we just go straight to work without? We have time for readings. That was basically the demo for today. You know, the class goes for an hour, but there's 300 of us. I just wanted to do something fun to show people how actual trainings really happen. And friends of, why is that hidden? Show that. Friends of Whimsy at gmail.com. If you need a buddy, or if you'd like to volunteer to be a buddy for somebody in your town and you're worried there might not be ambulance service or, you know, anything like that, and you just want to have a buddy system in the event of whatever, because we are entering into like a really difficult period the next couple months. We've decided here, Sheila, Michelle, myself, a couple of other people, that we would create a buddy system. You can email friendsofwhimsy at gmail.com to see about connecting with a buddy in your area, should you need someone to help. All right, we've got time to play. I know some people have to take off after an hour, but let's, did we do a prayer? We didn't do the prayer. Did we do the prayer? We did do the prayer? I don't remember. We did do the prayer. I can't remember. People are saying we did, people are saying we didn't. Okay, let's do the prayer real fast. We'll go in and let's just take a look at what's going to happen tonight and tomorrow. Milla, your baby's okay now, you see? All right. I want to call on white light protection for myself and my viewers as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Give us the clarity and the wisdom needed to empower all of us on our journeys, to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, for the planet, for the people we love, but also to help those we have strife with. And together as a community, we say, Amen. Thank you, everyone who's made donations today. The money's going to feedamerica.org. See, she won't sit there. She waits for Flopsy. She thinks I think she thinks Flopsy's alive. It's like a child. Child thinks that their baby thinks that their doll is alive. Same thing. She doesn't like me to touch. She doesn't even want me to touch Flopsy. Sometimes I do. I have to clean it and stuff. Oh, towels. Somebody had said towels or blankets, and that was true. Somebody got it right away. And that was kind of, you give the right answer right away, and then other people don't get to figure it out. It's funny. Okay, so COVID, definitely. COVID, again, COVID has an impact on this election. You can see the base card, COVID, and then health concerns. So COVID, health concerns, the way the Republicans handled COVID, it really hurt them in Georgia. Very concerned about the finances, the country potentially having financial problems, also cruelty, financial difficulties. You know, we're worried about bread lines at this point. People refusing to give up. Look at that. The magician, the thief, the criminal, the trickster, the law coming in. Heartbreak for the other, suicide, hope and fear, the treasure trove, abundance, the final outcome, a new job, a new opportunity. One of our people is going to get into the Senate, at least. I think Warnock's going to get in, and possibly also the other guy. See, Purdue's cards are pretty strong. However, the other in relationship to us, the Republicans, fighting, suicide, arguments, and then you have this trickster attempting to steal an election. So, I don't know. I got to throw on Purdue because Purdue went into it assumed, there's a lot of confidence there. You're very welcome, Joy. You can use this technique, get yourself in a centered, calm place, and then I call it milking the energy, bring the energy up from the earth and use it and breathe the sixth chakra open. Also, I use the sixth chakra as a laser when I'm trying to do energy healing. If I have a patient on the table and I'm doing energy healing, I will breathe. Sometimes I will forget to breathe, and I'll breathe into the sixth chakra, and then I'll put a laser through, and it helps me see how the energy is moving with the astral bodies of the patient when they're getting an energy healing or something like that. So that's how I use the sixth chakra. How many people got it right away, or had a pretty good idea where Flopsy was, that they immediately got the hit or very close? Just curious. Okay, let's look at Ossoff. Oh, Tracy you got it spot on. Good, Tracy. So, just because you didn't get it right, like, just for curiosity, the people that got it right, how many of you are professional readers or have learned remote viewing in the past? Or if this is the first time you ever took a remote viewing class? You're right, Anna. It was in a closet. It was on the top of the towels. Deb. Yeah, I mean, like, if you don't, I know some people are like, oh, I never get it right when Whimsy drills us. Just keep practicing. You can also practice with yourself. You can look at cold cases, things of that nature. You're very close. It blew my mind, that customer that called the other day, and she was like, oh, I have this idea, boom, 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 this is where it is. And this is a case where the police couldn't figure it out. So she went down, used her pendulum, I think, and found the body. So if you're good at this, if you learn this, it can be quite helpful. Trump is on a rampage. Look at this. Psychopath, heartbroken, in the 4th house. See, I keep thinking Purdue might win, but I don't know about, but I think Warnock might win. I think it might be Warnock and Purdue. We shall see. We shall see. Did she tell the police? I don't know. I mean, I told her to close off the area. Don't dig up any more bones. We were pretty sure it was the skull, even though it was decomposed quite a bit, because when she turned it over, the soft surface of the skull could be seen and the line from the suture. So it looked like it was this part of the skull. It was interesting because I had a vision that the perpetrator had hit the victim from behind and may have not intended to kill them originally. So it was a blunt force to the back of the head that I had seen. And then when she went to the location, the customer, aka, I guess now you can call her a remote viewer since she's training, she went and she actually found it. So I told her to put it in plastic, seal it, and call the police. I don't think she needs more. I think she needs to call the feds, particularly now that she's found probably body. Wow. Okay, so we've been going for an hour. This concludes today's heart-centered remote viewing technique. Hopefully, when our setup improves, we'll be able to do a little bit more than we were able to do. But I think that's good to people know that. We could, the goal eventually is to look at cold cases, but we have to be really careful about respecting the family, and I don't want to hurt any family. So that's why I try to be considerate with actual cold cases. A bunny doesn't hurt anybody. We have a good laugh, and we can still practice these skills, but in a safe way. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I think I'm going to tune out early. We're not going to do an after show because, like you, I got to go watch the TV, and I think we're going to be okay. We just got to get through January and February. All right. Love and light to everybody. If you're still trying to get in for a tarot reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. It's a lot of fun teaching this class, and I want to thank the moderators, Tamara Rose, Michelle Taylor, Celtic Tarot, Sheila. Be sure and check out her channel. She's incredible. And everybody else who decided to join us today. Love and light, and we will see you next time. Peace out, everybody. Bye. Thank you. Thanks, everybody, for the support.